Oh, this is gonna be a fun stream. Alright, so let me just check who's live on Twitch for this. I have to look at my competition. Alright, who's hell yeah. Hell yeah, boys. We got this. Oh, I got beer with me. Holy shit, already. No. I'm not gonna reference our Twitch streamers now. What? What is this? Elder Scrolls for Oblivion Game of the Year Deluxe Edition? Oh. I'm sorry, what? Holy shit. Alright. Alright. I got beer with me. This stream. Mostly because it's a Friday, right? Yeah, it's a Friday. So that beer with me. Alright, boys, but alright, we're back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, sorry. Let me just get more beer real quick. Alright, let me just pour myself some more beer. Imagine drinking out of a can, because drinking out of a can with headphones on is a bloody nightmare. Alright, so I made some changes. Small changes, you won't even notice them. It's gonna be like a moved can. It's gonna be like an HP Lovecraft story. You won't even notice the changes. Alright. Oh shit. Oh, never mind. I just done an idea. No. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you back to Shadowrun Hong Kong. We're about to go and do a mission. Alright, we're about to... What was the last thing we did? The last thing we did before we went to sleep last time. Alright, looks like the game didn't load that save. You see nothing. Fucking... That image is gonna haunt me forever. We saved, yes. Here it is, hell, a shifting amalgamation of old boat star, stained docks, and repurposed warehouses, all lashed and bolted together into a unified whole. It's the last bastion of civilization before descending into the hellish tenement of Kowloon Vault City, and closest thing you ever have to a home. You'll ever have to a home. Alright, now that I've posted an intriguing alright, gentlemen, so I made some... Fuck, looks like we're gonna have to go through that. We'll just skip it, since you guys were here for that last time. Oh man, I made some little... good, we're good. Alright. So first things first, now that we're back, Now we're back. We go into the hatch. We do this because we want to start the reactor. It's oppressively hot down here. I'm going to have to turn off the lights. I can pour drink for myself in the dark. I'm a capable member of humanity. I can do whatever the fuck I need to. It's oppressively hot down here, and the air is full of synthetic odors that grab you by your sinuses and refuse to let go. You can smell engine grease and melting plastic, ionized air and lead soda. But oh god, I have soda. Now I know who. But I'm doing next turn. Let me just write it down. I'm not writing it down. Fuck that. A quick scan of the room tells you why. The downstairs tenant has converted this space into a machine shop. Metal fabricated tools, thermoplast, extruders, lines in the walls, and a pair of heavy industrial manipulators hang from the ceiling. Oh, it's something I need to up my brightness a bit. Never know. A man in a black trench coat stands with his hands to you, staring at a monitor mounted above a sturdy workbench. He addresses you without turning. I was wondering what I'm eating on bar. My Russian is a little rusty. His voice is pleasant. Coaching. There's a hint of Russian accent there, but it's buried in a lace and nuance. Please stay where you are. I'll be with you in just a moment, and unless you fancy an unplanned trip to Chrome Alley, don't touch anything. There's all manner of tools in here that would make your hand, that would take your hand clean off. Take your time, I won't touch anything. You're really kind, thank you. Examine the robotic arms mounted on the ceiling. You focus on the enormous manipulator arms that you saw earlier. They're bulky industrial things, dented from years of heavy use. Each arm has been fitted with at least a dozen different welders, soldering guns, extruders, and metal fabricating tools. You've seen machinery like this in factories before, but they look terribly out of place in the boathole's cramped engine room. Really good, yes. It's coming along very nicely. Very nicely indeed. He turns towards you, smiling. For the first time you can see his face. He has broadly handsome Slavic features and a chiseled jaw. His eyes are like flits of ice, and he seems to have a very thin handlebar mustache. Sorry to have you waiting, Mr. JermaSUS. It's no problem, don't worry about it. You two try not tell me, what can I do for? His voice draws up a flash of motion. Catches his eye. Fuck, I didn't get the right one. But now I know which one it is. Oh, now I know which one it is. I'll forget about it by the end of the stream. With alarming speed, a sinister-looking drone straddles out from under the work table. Its movements are surprisingly agile and fluid. The machine roars back menacingly, spreading its forelegs in a clear sign of aggression. The man smiled tilts and his tone is apologetic. Please don't mind the drone. He can be territorial, but so long as you remain civil, he will not bite. He extends his hand. Simultaneously, the drone relaxes into a neutral position, lowering its two legs. Like my character type back here to shake. Shake his hand. A pleasure! His hand is rough and normally warm to the touch. He shakes your hand with a sound. I'm well pleased to meet you, my friend. In a community such as here, it's important to be doing good things with one's neighbors. It leads. Speaking of which, I'd like to ask you some questions if you have the time. You glance at the brace on his forearm. A technical display brings to life. Then dithers out. Well, this morning's chest should still be cooling for a few minutes yet. That's time enough to talk. Trochet is an interesting name for a drone. I love this story. It's a Slavic legend about Trochet the Deathless. I suppose that is. Not many readers would name their most prized possession after a villain from a fairy tale. A nod to my heritage, I suppose. Yes, I know the story you're talking about. I'm very academic, you know. Oh, Mama, and meet anyone versed in the Russian classics here in town. I've studied, if memory serves, Shaded Deathless was an immortal villain and a kidnapper of women. In odds, indeed, he was those things, but it was not the same cliches. It was not cliches misdeeds that drew me to the name. I suppose it was the notion of immortality through cleverness that resonated with me. There was something to be learned from that, I was sure. Boys, give me a second. Metro. I suppose it was the notion of immortality for cleverness that resonated with me. There was something to be learned from that, I was sure, and so when it came time to name a beloved relation, his was the first name that came to mind. Alright, so because we skipped that, let me tell you about Trashai the Deathless. Trashai the Deathless, in essence, was like a lich in Dungeons and Dragons. Or Voldemort. He put his soul inside, he hid his soul inside an object. So that even though his mortal body could be killed, he would rise again. I suppose it has to be the motion with Aura. And is your drone Deathless like its namesake? In a matter of speaking, I suppose, she is. Redundant copies of every piece of architecture and its core program is stored on a disk in a secret location. Shouldn't he ever suffer critical damage, I can bring him back easily enough. I planned once to automate the self-repair process. I must confess I was really quite ingenious, but alas my research was lost. One day I will claim it and Trashai will become as deathless as the stories claim. But it will not be today. You're Russian, I got a hint of an accent there. Ah, you have a lady there, I'm impressed. Yes, I grew up in Nizhny Novgorod. Once stood there and started my career days in the industrial sector. Fairly common story, I'm sure. We also traveled a great deal, and so doing I have absorbed a number of other languages and dialects. How many languages do you speak? 27. Counting Russian and Cantonese. 15. It changed them with them only literate in 12. Oh. That's still impressive. Perhaps when compared to the common man, but have known a great many polyglots who can and do put me to shame. He gives another half shrug and Trashai mirrors the gesture. Arabic has been a particular bugbear of mine. The unfamiliar characters and lack of vowels make it damn tricky to get a handle on. I suppose all men have their limits. You got some interesting machinery in here. Not that you would typically see outside a corporate setting. The same to be said for of many in here, I am sure. This is a smuggler's den, is it not? Aren't there tenants based people having things that they shouldn't? Is there a particular device that interests you, out of curiosity? They brought the terms that you read there. They tried some take from an automatic assembly plant. Good, yes, that's precisely what they are. They fell off a boat, you might say. They weren't cheap, and but I them and had to mount them to the walls in my shop. So how to have them? That the investment has been dramatic. Yes, they're truer by far than the devices that I use in my professional life, but they still do the job, and they are mine. He gazed lovingly at the industry arm, still smiling. They have increased my fabrication capabilities nearly tenfold, and that, to me, is worth any price. When you said this morning casting, what did you mean? Exactly what I said, a casting that I made of a new locomotive assembly for Touché. Now I have a metrical design, as you can see. This one is inspired by the watching letters of a tetrapod gestation, the mangrove clab, to be specific. That's fascinating. This new large assembly will make your drone more effective. That remains to be seen, but there is no left in combat effectiveness, is there not? With 15 new components for Touché, unlocked options, different ways of being. Even the failures, and there have been many, have value in their context. Well, how did you... Would it be simpler to design now? How did you learn all of this? More training experience in that year dimension, he offers you a bright smile. Joining architecture was once my profession. You see, now it's more of a calling. One that I'm free to pursue, and that I've freed myself from the shackles of corporate servitude. Keeping all this you're saying that you used to work for a corp. Whose power were you on? There's something of a sore subject. My departure was involuntary. You see, I did not part ways with my employer under the best of terms. I will tell you that I worked for Drishin Aviatrol, but you'll forgive me if you don't want to go into details. Keeping all this machinery running can be cheap. How can you afford it? Oh, here we have it, boys. Now here we set the line. These are always corporations who needed this brilliant. So restrict sounding immodest. I modified myself rather well. There's always corporations who need design translation. I'm surprised how lucrative such work can be. There's always other work that I can turn to in a pinch. You said you did other work besides consulting. Can you tell me what kind? He paused for a second, something flashed in his eye. Touché lowers its body into a crouch. I had a personal question when you say. Sorry, I didn't mean to pry. No, it's alright. After all, it was my throwaway comment that led you down this path. I did not fault you for following it. Truth be told, I don't feel especially comfortable discussing my side of work with a lot of strangers. Suffice this to say, I'm afraid that it was often following the illicit end of the spectrum. Tell you what, I'm going to guess. You're Shadowrun, ain't you? I decided to, but yes, I ran the shadows. What gave me away? Design consultants live in apartments in Victoria Harbour. You live in a rusted out boat in theory. Would that be a reason for that? You're correct, of course. The residents of their communities are usually either too poor to live elsewhere or engage in behaviors to elicit the risk. I will admit to being in the latter camp. Designing robotics is my passion, but it doesn't always pay the bills. Designing over to shades armored chassis, caressing the sculpted metal with his fingertips. My status as a foreigner has proven something of an impediment in this regard. And so, sorry as I may be to say it, the lion's share of my income flows from Crochet's aptitude for butchery. Such is life, I suppose. We do what we must. We do what we love. To do what we love. Seems that everyone is boat runs the shadows. When I pull resources and work together. He purses his lips, mister. A compelling offer. I'm doing quite well on my own, but I must admit there are certain jobs for which I am suited. Magic eludes me, and I'm not a decker. My strength comes from material objects in the real world, solid things with mass and heft, things that I can build and operate. Sadly, I date many clients and understand themes that display a mastery of the intangible. This trip of yours, you are people who can cover those bases. If so, then perhaps we can help each other. Yeah, we are Shaman and Decker, both competent in the job. In that case, I would accept you off on a provisional basis. With a few runs together, see how we get on. If our association bears fruit, it will continue. If not, I will bid you my farewell and go back to working alone. How does that sound? Welcome aboard. I do that soon. When you receive a job, you know where to find me. My skills and resources are at your disposal. And with that, I'm afraid I must bid you a good day. There's still work to do here. This letter assembly won't clean itself. I'll be in touch. Wait for a word with you. And I with you. I love this psychopath of a man. Now. Just you see nothing. Alright. You saw nothing. Alright, I think fuck, I think I already downed half a liter of beer. I'm not a great social drinker, I'll admit. I'm gonna go drain the lizard, as they say it, and throw away the can. I'll be back in a minute. Back in a minute, boys. Oh yeah, I'm back, I'm back, gentlemen. No need to be afraid. We're about to go solve a murder mystery. Bruh, that seems fucking overpowered. Alright, boys, your workshop and mission computer. Two blue tones of the workshop. Main menu. Go to screen. Check your inbox for new messages. You have 6 unread messages. Welcome to Hoenn. I'm Kylie Chang to JermaSUS. Welcome to JermaSUS on behalf of your friends at the Hilly Chamber of Commerce and Swift Winds Mahon Pala. I welcome you to the community of Hilly. into a new business venture. I've already lined up 3 jobs for you. The details of each are contained in a separate computer message. Remember to check your messages often, and we'll update you with new opportunities as they occur. Your mission computer. Isabel, the JermaSUS. Hey, JermaSUS. Set up your computer to get a match with Detroit news reports, information, and media that might be of interest to you. Some of the key words of that are shown through our Raymond, Dungeon Vault City, etc. And that patched into a permanent link up the Honton Shard. Shadowlands BBS. It's a great place to connect with a runners, sell payday data, and get news from the street and so on. Don't be shy about taking a look. Resources. From Bao Jianjun. I'm instructed to inform you the various supplies is present in Hello. And sharing the start recommends to the well start and trustworthy boundaries. Whether you choose to do business with, you'll be in good hands. Oh yeah, I know, and yeah. Fuck, I should have read that one. Oh. It's a Strand of Bow's message, alright. Wasilia Kila. Kanchen. I got problems, so you don't help me solve it. I do a lot of business with the warm pawns. If you're not familiar with the term, forgive you. You're an outsider after all. Your pawns are trapped techno-fetishists and doctors who've taken up a residence at the Vampire Garden near Hong Kong. They made and trade high-tech goods to people from all over the world. A lot of neat passes through their hands. And I make a lot of money broaching these between them and the smugglers here in Hyun. Get a snag though. The Vampires, the council of leaders, and being eliminated by a serial killer. They asked me to dispatch someone to get to the bottom of it and stop the killings. They're not taking their goods from my turf until I do. So then, to be my proxy, dear. I don't care how you do it, just stop the murders. Yeah. We're taking the run. Dude, I'll tell you the elders you're coming. Don't they don't like outsiders. They might shoot you at sight if I don't warn them you'll be arriving. Back the route. Shadowlands BBS. Ah, poetry sweat. No. Runaway haiku bots and shit. Nah. Alright, first we gotta go get ourselves a sniper rifle. Don't worry, boys, I know exactly where everything is. There's Spider Shen. This is some rando. If it ain't the X-Mata. I think I changed this guy, but I'm not sure. I didn't change him. Like most troll bounces, this man is not with muscles, but absent are the myriad scars that come with age or indiscretion. His only blemishes are the bonus chin growths coming to his chin, and a single deep star across his neck and collarbone. You watch yourself in there with that aerodynamics. Aerodynamics? Now it does drop. I see how far out you're from. No fighting, no killing, no such trade. He lifts an arm, flexing. His muscles jump out like a mess of serpents in steel cabling. His arm is easily as thick as most humans' waists. I don't mess around. One of these guys I changed. And it could be this guy. Or that guy. Better groomed than most of his kind, the young troll nonetheless ruins the effort of his own blatant drunkenness. His eyes are red in his present foggy, but otherwise appears to be high functioning. Have a drink, friend, have two. There may be something else to chase it, eh? You alright? Couldn't be better. I'm Prince of the 88, of the Club 88. Shows you, mister. You find the family house, boys? You're a shrewd one, friend. I'm their heir apparently. And my birthright, the pair of chumster, will sniff for the pass through our gates. What do you say? Need some pick you up? I'll bring you down. Yeah, let's see what you did. He got Cram, Hyper, and Toko. I changed some troll NPC. I have no idea who. There's only one way to describe the troll haunting the back of the Club 88. Whether it is as if the man had been carved from granite and then battered by the trash of waves and salty winds over the course of decades. Welcome to Club 88. No killing, no fighting, no sex trade. I can respect that. Name's JermaSUS. I'm Henry Cafe. I suppose I own the place. If you're looking for Jen, speak to my wife. If you're looking for farmers, speak to my son Callum. And if you're looking for trouble, you'll be seeing my son Frederick, briefly. And what do I speak about to you about? Nothing. I just steer the ship. What ship? There's always a ship. I'll leave you be. Alright. There's like a 70% chance that this troll in the back is the one I changed. Ignore the laser turrets. I didn't change her. The other troll woman has a striking Amazonian quality. When she was younger, she must have been a real head turner. Can I help you? Deal with you? What you eat, sleep, and crap you. This is my family's place. Me, my husband, and our 2 boys. And you have some business for me? I have no time for window shoppers. What do you have for sale? Fire lamps from all over the world, from aliens to the and everything between. You in the market? Just like a look. First things first, buy armor. Always buy armor. Not going. Everyone has a gun. Going around with no armor might as well be a fucking death witch. Might as well be a death wish. Alright, so we're here to pick up a few weapons. Now, these are SMGs. We don't touch SMGs or shotguns. What we do touch are these nice little pots. Now, we grab some pie. We grab this because it's better than our goddamn 1897. 1 damage and 6 bonus bullets. We don't grab it. We grab the goddamn sniper rifle. Because remember, shooting people is always better than being shot at. There's only one thing you need to know. The corporations do not rule Hillary. You want to Chinle Sharon's umbrella and her yellow lotus soldiers protect the darts and maintain the peace. But we're not triad members, and they won't own us. Theories are close ones where goods change hands, and deals are made. Can they match the market? We, the families, make it happen. Ermine speaks with the pride of a woman who bows politely to great powers, but never prostrates herself before them. Families built this place when it was left to rot. Strong families like mine, and we protect our own. Outsiders and corps know that tangling with Hawaii is more trouble than we are worth. And tribes know it is better to work with us than against us. And now you know these things as well. You would do well to remember them. Alright. Now we saw that, and that's it. At some point we're gonna encounter some people, and those people are gonna be different. Would I use the sewer system, the metro system? Head to the Vampire Gardens to discover who killed the elders. Yeah. Would grab Isabel. I never buy these days. They're useless in my eyes. When you can just grab these free people and be fit for anything. Outside, on poor Darner driven of chrome and neon, rife with every man of technology and advancement one can imagine. That area has the feel of night market, save that ships are sold in lieu of steam buns and vendors hack the latest drones other than folk art. Sometimes something starts the streets. I'm just out of sight. It starts the vampire elders, the leaders of the band, and of that savage squatters that claim the neighborhood as their own. The streets smell of ozone and fear, and those vampire you pass in the MTR station have a haunted, furtive look in their eye. While the killer has struck only at the elders thus far, it may only be a matter of time before the ordinary residents are menaced as well. I'm not changing it. I'm probably gonna find a way to change the name somehow. The streets of Mumbai are slit with rain, glittering under the neon glow of myriad signs and holographic displays. The sky reflects the same glow, painting the white apartment blocks with sickly orange of sodium starlight, streetlight. The smell of drilling meat windows with other rarer scents, ozone, engine oil, and high-tech fabrication facilities. Despite the hour, there are plenty of people out and about. You can hear calls of street vendors and touts urging people into the stores. Isabel wrinkles her nose, scowling darkly. She wraps her arms tightly around her chest, staring off into the distance. Is there a word for feeling nostalgic for a place you can't wait to leave again? I don't miss this place, but I miss the feeling I had when I lived here. So data maybe? No, that's not it. It's close, but she lets the scent trail off into nothingness, claps it, pin her mouth shut before a moment. This place seemed like heaven after the vault city, where the whole world had unfurled in front of me. And then when I turned, there was promise of a good life. Turned out this place was just as scrappy as everywhere else. Everyone's still in it for themselves. I'm gonna go take another piss. Give me a second. Robert claps hand on Isabel's shoulder. Who flinches and pulls away. That's what life lesson is. I'm serious. At the end of the day, life's a raw deal. You got yourself and a handful of friends. That's it. Nothing else. Dungeon casts a sidelong glance at Isabel. Goblet shakes his head. Shaking his head. We got some strange ideas about life, sure. Life's a meat grinder. No! No, not the mention of a meat grinder. Oh, yeah, but come on. There's gotta be more to life than just surviving. Does there? What makes you the authority on that? I'm done talking about this anyway. Watch for the vampire elders, and then be the vampire itself. That's a big ship down the stream. I've seen pictures. What's that react? That's the one, kinda hard to miss. He's been a picture since the last century. These days it's just a squat. Shops or family affairs and corporate ones. Is there anything that you know about the vampires? They are tech kids, thinkers and self-taught scientists. Despite the fact there's no formal education system, everyone is here is pretty smart. They apprentice kids to skilled workers so they can learn the trade. The girl taught me that and I left after she got brain fried trying to crack up the trauma network. Now the Ip taught me to shoot. He should still be here. Come on, let's just see what they have to say for themselves. Hey, what can I do? This is cursed. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The old woman is festering with small circuits, tiny thread strings and speakers. The strings display snippets of thread broadcasted from her corner of the world. Then the speech display counterpoint with a No. Why is it sus? No. No. Scissors. A voice speaking Spanish, Punjabi, Kazakh, and languages. Just her expression is haggard, and she fidgets with her fingers as you approach. Welcome to Vampala Land. I am Elden and these are others Tank and Ip. And Jay, just as to the elf and human who each incline their heads respectfully. Thank you so much for answering our request to help. We had nowhere else to turn. It's the least we to do. The time skin glowing tattoos ripe and change shape. Tigers become cranes and move to dragons. We're under threat one by one. We others are being hunted by some monster. As you may have noticed, when you arrive, there's been another killing just tonight. Ip crosses solid chrome arms, holographic readabout stands constantly over their face, displaying diagnostic information about their state, operating temperature, cerebral pressure, variety of other miniature. He looks past you toward his will. The prodigital daughter returns once more. I didn't expect to see you back around Vampire in my lifetime, Isabel. When you disappeared, your dealer was very put out. I'm glad you're still alive. When you chose to walk your own path, I was disappointed, but I still understood why you had to leave. He pauses, tasting the air as he chose his next words with care. I hope my lessons have helped you prosper. You expect to be back either. Where takes places though. Takes you places though. Isabel shrugs. A moment later, she puts a hand on her pistol, eyes straight on Ip's shoes. I don't turn this around for fun, Ip. Lessons kept me alive. Where is it tuned anyways? Worth it to be here. And shakes her head sadly. She reaches out a hand toward Isabel, who shrinks away from it. She's dead, so are Jan and Nakamura. And Thorn was killed just tonight. So much blood. You have to stop this from continuing. Isabel's expression remains impassive, but her knuckles grow white as her hands ball up into fists. That's what we're here for. To stop the killings. Thank you, Isabel. Angela lifts a hand, wiping away her tears from her eyes. What can you tell me about Amaris? It's that 2 weeks ago, the first The door was jammed. We found him in his apartment eviscerated. Or someone put him in a meat grinder. He's been torn apart. His head has been ripped completely off and most of his skin flayed away. He was somewhat why it took us a week to clean out his apartment. 10 yards running his palm over his forehead. The rest have been the same, always at night, always dismembered. Each scene is like a nightmare. And every time nobody saw anything. It's like a ghost. What happened in town? The same thing that happened to the rest of the victims, eviscerated and dismembered. We sent a jar to people at his shop, but he'll let you in. When did he die? Sometime early tonight. He locked up his shop, but I stopped by to ask him about steel chips he had. The door was unlocked and inside, near the lip. Her hands helplessly. She opens her mouth, but there's no words to come out. Sinner's inability to continue if takes over. Inside left like a bad horse, just like all the other murders. It had to be happening after sundown because I saw his shop open when I was on my way to get some noodles for dinner. Why didn't you tell the police? The Hong police force is involved in here. They tried to force us out several times before. I'm hunting for someone to pin the crime on. We do a lot of favors for local gangs and triads. Handed them made church security, fixed up the G, and made sure they have access to Hong Kong Shadowlands hub. We're too a valuable resource for them to lose, so they protect us when the HJPF or anyone else decides we're an easy target. They had our physical security and we made sure to send the message via the Matrix. Last thing the HJPF made trouble, we started interviewing the assistant chief's dirty laundry over the shred. They got the picture and backed off. Haven't made any enemies lately? Not that I can think of. We keep to ourselves. We buy and sell technology. We're not mercenaries or criminals. We're merchants and debtors. And even if someone was cheating in a deal, it's their response is unthinkable. Whatever it is, it wasn't human. The violence and savagery. It's a monster, whatever it is. But they mad at humans and monsters too. They don't lie. And yeah, as if it's horrible doesn't mean it's supernatural. What did the vampires do? They make the laws and cheat people out who don't obey them. They're much petty tyrants, that's what they are. You're being unfair, Isabel. Our laws are for the good of the community. We keep the vampire and its residents safe. We review trade agreements for outsiders to see if they're good for the community. We provide the guiding vision like a town council. I can respect them. I'm glad to understand the community is fragile and the authorities bear us a lot of ill will. I see no misstep could spell around. I am the invoker of the sprites. I am the invoker of the machine spirits. I commune with the spirits of machine. I just changed all of this like 45 minutes ago. And pass those blessings to the people here. I heal the sick and ensure the feng shui of our habitats is as good as it can be given our confines. She's a salmon at South. She's got some tricky spin on it. Claims her totem some kind of art and pumps machine god lives in That's blasphemy. It was blasphemy. The omniscient knows all. Ancient gods and head sense on one thing. My that? It's mine. I'll build it doing spirits. Is that an EPS as I load up with? Gives it was a look of deep sadness. Just because you cannot see or touch the thing does not mean that it doesn't exist. Just because you do not believe it does not mean it does not protect you from afar. I can't touch programs either, but at least I can prove they have an effect on the physical world. Your superstition is that bullshit. Israel treats drones like they're living things. What does that they do, Tank? Then says arms palms up as you watch the tattoos therein shift into a complex mathematical formula. I am the first and lowliest servo. I study patterns, live my machinery, and teach others how to attune themselves to the wonders of automation. The blessed autofab is my shop and purview, where we make the drones we use as sell. As for me, I serve as a splendid voltage spike. What the fuck does that mean? That means I shoot people who try to screw with us. It's a fancy title for head of security. Alright, that's all for now. You're wise to ask the residents of Port Garden if they've seen or heard anything after you've gone to Thompson's Carnival. They must have seen or heard things that we have not. Good to know. Alright, gents, we're now free to investigate. Oh, it's gonna be fun. Oh, it's gonna be fun. Most of it is I already know this entire fucking storyline. And I know what I'm gonna do. But hell, there's always opportunities. For a living, for better living condition. Alright, first we must check in with this time. Yeah, there's not want anyone to inside without their permission. It must be pretty bad in there. Poor lamb at your service. They just told me that you'll be coming. I'll tell you about what happened at Thorn. It is the basics. Yeah, and that's basic about this. I've seen people shot, stabbed, beaten the hell. I've even seen a corpse that was so dry in this chair that could have sworn a vampire got to it. Oh yeah, vampires are real. Now, that's going on. Now that's done ain't doing this. Brace yourself and go on in. Alright, we're going in. Nonsense returns the scene out of a B-grade slasher sim. A cloying scene of incense, hands thick and pungent in the air, emanating from the small shrine in the corner of the shop. Unfortunately, there's nothing to cover up the reek of death and clotted blood. Despite the red remnants of the thorns littering the floor, the rest of the shop appears to be in good shape. Iris at first Johnson is broken, tipped over, otherwise ransacked. As you're about to step further into the room, you glance at the ceiling and walls. The blood from Thorn's body isn't just confined to where his remains lie. Drying blood is spread all about the walls and ceilings as well. Alright, first we investigate the body. Now you need a pretty good medicine still for this. Thorn's body is a ruined mess. The destroyed ruin of his face is barely recognizable, and what's left of his body could be described as savage. All his limbs have been torn off, and a pile of flayed skin lies next to the remnants of one poor elder. Now, former clothing has all but been reduced to rags and tissue by cuts and tears apparently sustained during the flame. At this point, the only thing holding what's left of his body into a semblance of human form is the hair-thin fiber optics of his cyberware. Yara puts a hand over her mouth and speaking in an uncharacteristic serious tone. Sweet heaven, JermaSUS. I haven't seen anything like that since Aunt Tivorn tried to stash some credits in the Devil Rat's Nest. It takes a lot to turn my stomach, but we sure have a winner today. This series was messed up. I was thinking that this isn't bird, this is more like a, I don't know, feeding frenzy. It's framed for the skin that say Thorn stepped on a goddamn mine or something. A job that sensed the body. You're the boss. Boss? Man, this is gonna be unpleasant. Jabba closes her eyes, taking a deep breath. After a moment, she opens them again and makes a strange grunting noise. I'm gonna go turn my glass and take her piss. Oh, yeah. Now we're back. There's no fear here, JermaSUS. No anger either. Just this kind of satisfied feeling. They never saw it coming. Whoever did it was professional about it, which is pretty odd because nobody's professional about eviscerating a body, as far as I know. So it wasn't a hit. You think it was a hit? I don't know why the killer was after Tom, but it was definitely. Well, it wasn't any time to mind the street, so I was. Or was someone particularly passionate? It was somebody who planned this and executed it, and was glad about it. I don't know. It kind of feels like it was just business as usual. We touch not the body. We inspect the bloody wall. Our reactor will comment about this if you bring him along. The walls are covered in plattered and smeared blood, most of which has hardened into a crusty congealed paste. The tracks of it run laterally. It looks like the blood has been deliberately smeared. JermaSUS, I don't know a lot about science or all that, but I know what blood looks like when it hits a wall. It's saying natural. Someone's deliberately smeared the blood all over these walls. See how it looks like? It's got paint trails. That's because somebody used Thorn's parts like a brush, so it painted his walls blood white. Look like a psychologist to you? Because they're afraid. Maybe because they're afraid. Maybe because one of their psychologists sees their murders as art. I got no clue. All I know is that normal blood looks like on a wall, and they're saying it. Some people have a bad grasp of art. I know this guy Thorn who used to make music out of stray radio static and panic button calls, called it Crisis Wave. It was awful. Crisis Wave. But, you know. Oh, search the bathroom. Don's bathroom is immaculate and drains are tiny. Whatever killed them didn't exit through here. Don's drawers are open, and the safe that's built into one side has been opened. There's no sign of tampering, and the green light next to the word unlocked is blinking. Whoever opened the safe did it with a key fob. Inside is several blank credit slips with no sign of any money on them. But someone loaded a stash. This wouldn't keep only empty credit slips in a safe. Ooh, Simpson set it down. This is a 195,000 V Simpson, a device for Cinemaster and Simpson's chips. Several drive bays are empty now. The trip jams are empty. The screen is flashed and repeat error message. Warning request files can be found. Please return drive bays and try again. Have visibility by the system. Visible rattles and some commands in the Simpson computer. Keyboard satisfied. Stepping away from seconds away. Relative satisfaction was. There, I put the drive warning on suspended. It's in diagnostic mode only though. Maybe we'll learn something, maybe not. JermaSUS 5.23 system diagnostic checker. Memory okay. Drive error. Assist bus okay. Beginning core down, please wait. Reverse fuse destroys the along the SIF streams and show that numbers indicating recent files, play lengths, keyframes, and assist beat levels. Missing number you're seeing. Since it's been hacked to remove the P controller levels from chips, he's been burning. They tried operation to make BTO chips. Without the wave outputs for these chips pushed them dangerous into brain burning territory. The fat rendering from the IP to BTO indicates all the files are in burn chips to be stored on the missing drives and whatever was in the empty chip jar. Someone cleared out Thorn's BTO stash. Alright. We have gained very little information. And he's not just been all cut up. Alright, we talked to this guy. Hey there, need something else? What do you do around here, Porter? It's catch out category. Yes, I work for IP. It's a bit like being a deputy. Made sure people don't break the rules, protect people who need protecting. Mostly do whatever IP says. It's a pretty quiet job most days. Today is not one of those days. And a lot of maintenance. I don't do the repairs, but I've done most of the keys. It takes it makes it easy to ensure only authorized personnel going to sensitive places. Electricity goes down. The electrician who fixes the wiring. Toilet clerk, I let in the drone guy who opens it back up. You know, someone has went through tons of things. Has anyone been inside? Not since I've been here, but before Ip found him, could have been anyone, really. He put a key to his place, but the locks still were crap. Anyone half decent or cracking mad locks. You're down inside. What's missing? His BTR drives and translates the road on. Sounds like the chilly little place to me. Now the stock monsters, sure, those are scary things that don't bump in the night. Most of the scary bumps are cured from handguns and gangsters see around. Alright, we talked to him. Now we talk. There's no one here to talk to. Yeah, no one here. We talked to this guy who's running his own investigation. There we go, Demendo. This man has a tired, worry within demeanor about him. His eyes track your movements with a penetrating critical precision. Something about him. The lines about his eyes, perhaps, make you suspect he's seen a lot of terrible things happen. He lifts a strap of cheap soyka as you approach. Let me guess, you're the freelancers, the others, a pain to look into the muds around here. How'd you know? Ah, you got the right kind of eyes, but you're looking for some. And don't seem to trust anyone. I'd eyes don't generally wander around on pod gardens without a nest with. Others don't make them feel too welcome unless they've been invited. There's only one reason to be inviting Shadowrunners out here. Call me Demendo. I'm not one of the importance, but I've been here long enough that they don't think twice about me being here. So what have you found so far? You're awfully curious for a random guy. Professional curiosity used to be with the New York Police Department. It was part of the Metallurgical Research Division, part of the CSI branch. Except that they did match to investigation while the other guys pulled prints and checked blood samples. The inventors of the Soycaf kept towards the nearby job trying to bounce around the rim and rolls inside. I'm sure about shit like this happening. I keep my ears to the ground. Old habits, you know. Seems like you're more cut out for this job than I. And then they asked me to look into cures after the first murder. She turned for my fee, though. After the pass, it's not just the money either. You see that stuff day after day, you pay a price. It eats away at you. You know, it's hard to feel all the sickness and anger every day, to be asked to pick up a murder weapon and relive somebody's death. You would go into your neck, putting in the voice of a dead woman for a killing. To spare you. These days, I'd rather tell you the living things. It sounds awful. Awful is, it's more than awful. It's a goddamn nightmare is what it is. I try to wake up from a long time. Somebody could have to try and run, start fresh at least. Now I can pick my own jobs. I can read objects called psychometry. A little trick I met just to pick up. I don't really know how. I hold something, tell what happened to it. How was it? How it killed someone. If someone loved it or was afraid of it. Useful though, attach your heart. Before you ask, no, I'm not going to read anything fine. I already told him. And yeah, I don't want any part of this. You want advice? I'll give you that, but I'm not getting drawn in any further nice. So aside from that, is that I can help you with? Tom wasn't afraid when he died. He was caught by surprise. That's exactly what we're expecting. With the amount of mess that he'd seen, the victims should have behind a hell of a lot of fear and pain. I shit on that not. So the since hasn't had time to fade, there was only a sense of perfectionary accomplishment. Sounds like this wasn't a crime of passion. The point at that would have that kind of resistance. In my experience, it's possible. The door shows to throw off anyone looking for the actual reason. Yeah, if I want to kill someone and get away with it, I'd try to point a finger at some other monster. Murder opens his eyes and piles a thin, humorous grin. Based on investigation went away. It's usually the simplest explanation, but don't this turn out a possibility the mess wasn't intentional? It's a possibility. Ask yourself this. If the mutilation happened after the Tarn's death, why would a killer perform that kind of ritual? Serial killers who engage in that kind of ritual don't feel refractory about it. In my experience, it tends to feel more like they're taking communion. It's a religious or sexual feeling most of the time. If this didn't feel that way, I think the killer is actually... I don't think the actual is killer pathological. It's actually pathological. What do you know about the murders? It started a couple of weeks ago, and John was the first to go. That's when NJ asked if I could look into them. It was ripped apart, arms stretched out at the side, it's still flayed away with a razor sharp knife. The rest has been the same. Whatever they did, sure didn't care about it being a clean death. The mayor lowered his voice, leaning toward you so only you can hear. The funny thing is, the Hong Kong police force was out here a few weeks before that. Maybe a month ago, tops. And it doesn't seem like much, but the vampires don't usually let the police in here. That by itself is odd enough, but it gets even stranger. The officers were loaded for bear too. Big guns, heavy armor with NBC seals, the words. They went to the parking garage near here, and there was some kind of gunfight. Never made it back out. When backup showed up, the vampires chased them away. What would the cops in? Chase them away? It's actually the kind of question you should be asking. And then the others refused to answer when I asked. I think you look around for yourself if you want. Watch out though, there's a gang taking up residence in there. They own drugs and BTOs. They try themselves the Red Spear. Not violent if you don't push them. Be careful what you say. What can you tell me about them pawns? I don't know much, even though I've been here almost 2 years. I'm an outsider. I don't really accept anyone who's not as much as I'm protecting us as they are. I'm just a crazy mage that lives down the road. I happens to have some heavy duty subway based on the force for the rest of the council. He doesn't seem to set much policy. And his shaman who worships the machine spirit. It's all a bunch of hokum. If you ask me magic, imagine whatever you want. Call it sorcery, it's fine by me. But don't ask me to believe in the great spirits of electronics. As for everyone else, they tend to be okay. An okay bunch. A bit strange, but that's French culture for you. It's challenge there to rebuild it, sell it off. Some of them even have their own auto-fab shops. Their stuff's pretty high quality too. People from all over Asia come shop here. If you need something rare or unusual, like in the little community, I'll interested. See you around. Alright, we just got our next lead. Now we're gonna buy some. This dumpy looking man is busily hawking around the roads. Virtual traits of various sizes. Some are sold individually, some are secured in sticks, and some are sold in patches of 4 and 6. A sign up front. The car reads, Chaita's 1 yen yatai. A character from the smaller thread strings are attached to the chart, each playing a different thread show. Interested in some dango? Takoyaki? Maybe a nice nickel one? There's a pork bun with Japanese twist. I kinda taste the Japanese treat you can imagine, got it. There's some curry fish balls or your speed. Chaita will give you your heart's desire providing that is on the menu. Let me some dango. No fish is my command. Chaita pulls out one that slips in at a can, drops it into the grill, smaller by a charm size up. From the charm begins turning the stick until the balls of rice floor in their toasted brown color. Lifting them from the grill, Chaita dips the entire stick in a tub of sticky brown sauce before handing to you. The snare has both sweet and salty flavor, missing of sesame seeds and soy. The balls inside are pleasant warmth and surprisingly chewy, a bit like you eating raw dough, but without the thin chalky paste. Jin leans out, studying you intently. The treat projections from his stark cause his face to be lit in a constantly shifting array of rainbow hues. The words of the bird done, my friend. Some are adopted just street food. Just here for the job. I can swear sometimes does left edge strange races, and few races are stranger than this one. Ha! Why didn't you tell me about the people here? Yeah, with that kids, statues, ridges, street pirates, and everything in between. If I had to find this place, I'd say Asia's mecca for people like us. As for the others, give you the basics. I'm a small fry. We're not exactly on social terms. And yet some kind of crazy tech witch. She summons up spirits and casts spells and works for the spiritual center of the tribe. She's a lot crafty, she seems to. She says this mother to everyone act going on, but I've watched her manipulate people doing all kinds of stuff they would normally do and thought it was their idea the whole time. Magical, you mean? No, I think so. She's just rude over people. I'm a killer. Addicted to cyber energy implants. He always has to have the newest, the freshest gear. The funny thing is, I've never seen him fight. I get the impression he's a coward. He don't let one of his buddies handle a problem and do it himself. All I know about Tangy is that he loves drones and does a little detching. Right, I find him kind of boring. All he asked about is neural networks, dark knowledge, and evolution of machine learning. Like I said, boring. Now, what's well the Trit streams? You like them? I love Trit operas, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Indonesian. Doesn't matter. This way I can watch all my favorite shows without missing a beat. Yeah, I can work at the same time. Pirating Trit is my other business. I read the streams in the Matrix, tap right into the corporate feeds and resell them on ship audio. To the face falls a bit into those veins. I wish it had paid the bills. But food charge is a lot better than that. I don't know why. Most of the people in post seem to like to sit over Trit. They know what they're missing out though. One episode of 1,000 Cranes of Autumn and they'd be hooked for life. That is the part where Oran has confessed her love to Takayama. Is that his mech suit out not in the front lines of Mars so he can't be with her. I got one beer in me and this already isn't making sense. They're heartbreaking, I tell you. Sounds like an interesting show, alright? Eyes twinkling, leans forward and breathless. Oh, you have no idea. 312 episodes trying to ennoble Met Pilot and terminal this love affair. He has with a space station's government starter. The pad has to match the Battle of the George one spans 5 episodes. Just by itself. For some reason, I just didn't resonate with the wider public. I don't know why. Who doesn't want to see a Trit show about a giant flying robot so I'm trying to love, betrayal, and spies? I gotta stop myself before I tear away. Now, was some thoughts about the murders? Yeah, I ignored them. I saw the crowd. That nonsense or traveling or not bound know the job very well. I'm a Trit fan. He likes The Sims. Not a lot of crossover between us. See you later, Jada. So we got some info here. We'll check up the street. And we can talk to Brick, Huey, and this guy. We found some windows to sleep. Yeah, the streets are dangerous lately. We got Brick, Huey, and Mope and Abdani. Brick, Huey, impossibly tall, imposing troll stands in front of a stall full of weapons and also with pistols, rifles, and even brass knuckles overflow onto the rug around him. Oh, there, look like a man who understands the value of self-defense. Better Huey at your service, and I can promise you I can help you defend yourself. What do you say? I want to take a look. Show me what you have. Alright, so let's see, get the Uzi, Samurai, Shot Glove, Spiked Fist. Yeah, this man just sells a variety of low tier weapons. I mean, this is a level level 2, so not all that low, but you get what I mean. If you need some of these, you can always get them. Ooh. I'm looking for information. Yeah, tell what you want, where we can help you out. Aside from slits and BTLs around here. The Red Spear gang, their opinion sometimes. Don't cause any trouble. Shoot their parking garage outside though. You should hop in there. Step light though. If they know you and you're dropping out, they would put you in the ground. I think there was a shootout with some Hong Kong police in the garage a month ago. I was away in Beijing at the time, so I seen it directly, but everyone was talking about it. But what's that funny? Because we don't let the HTPF in here. Most of the time we shoot them if they try. Every time they come in here, it's bad for us because they're always looking for a scapegoat. Why should let them in? Nobody knows. Nothing but the myths. There's the others have been getting the heart apart. I try to stay away from it all. No sense painting crosses on my own forehead, you know? I'm nobody important. I keep it away. What are your impressions of the vampire artists? Can't say I associate with them much. They organize big trade deals with the local Johan pallets. They try as a legitimate business. They tell us if somebody's been bought worse than disperse justice when someone breaks the rules. Beyond that, they just leave us alone, and I leave them alone. I'm not important enough to register on the radar. See you around. And now we talk to my job. Hey, the man in front of the star is looking for a box of music chips with a swift vengeance. Someone who knows what they're looking for. Behind him, a music player pumps out constant streams of the sort of a tone of music. The stars of Pada, nowhere to be seen. You know, this they got 4 bootlegs of Echelon 60, the unreleased not Ian Key's double chip show from Brazzaville, but absolutely 0 chips from Shut Then Bloom. The Stars stuff is pure is second rate. Hey man, don't get down on Echelon 60. I saw them when they played. Then I last showed the Tritter that factory out in Van. The show was amazing. The boys had to break it up and wait for the second set. The music up for the show wave stand dismissal. The show might have been great, but come on, Echelon 60 is old news. They're already been mainstreamed. I saw a trade ad for the new Mitsubishi Astra Studer. And they were using main vote on the bus as the vacuum. It made me sad, I tell you. More JermaSUS, that to acknowledge music band. You're from out here. You know, touch. Nah, from your cast. I thought so. Where was you out here? I'm trying to find some from McKinley Aldis. Oh, that's nasty business. I had thought that, and I know who or what they pissed off, but it seems like they're about saying I'm trying to keep my nose out of it. Still like this place. Is that what you do? What's your earlier expertise? I'm a doctor. I used to be a company man for years, pushing code on the servers, smearing the little site reputes. Never would try to enter a secure system, so I had a pretty good living. I had my own place in the 48th floor in a corporate skyscraper. I was trying to think the Sims teach you everybody reaches for, the dream of. How'd you get up here? I found out the company wasn't what I thought it was. Sure, they paid me well and kept me in creative conference, but I had to look over some misfound reports while cleaning out company data store. Turns out the company security riggers had done drunk and blabbered about some project or rather about being over budget and behind schedule. That's not good. That'd be a fireable offense, right? I guess upper management was worried that info would hurt their stock ratings by a fraction of a point or two, so they fired the guy with a free way around right for the straw. The shadow more fraction of a point. It may only have been a fraction of a point, but that was still tens of millions of near. I guess that went beyond a fire offense. They're in murder territory. What's worse, since I knew about the project and murder, I could be the next firing line. I knew it wasn't worth the expense down as long as I kept my head down, so I came out here looking for like-minded detectives. I guess I ended up staying because I get a semblance of community out here. I couldn't get many of our place. One time of importance. I went up the fleets, geared sneers, and tech junkies. This place may look a third world bizarre, but believe me, we had stuff that's threatened edge in almost every field. Maybe it's not as advanced as stuff the megas have in their development labs, but it's advanced as anything you can find in the store. People come from all over the world just to buy and sell here, and work out deals for big shipments. We got contacts with every pilot and smuggling globe in the South China Sea, and every major syndicate and gang in the free enterprise zone knows not to mess with us. There are a lot of us. Nobody wants to lose what we're selling. The Red Dragon made a play 4 years ago, but we chased them out. Stood back to hold maintain, and they've never been back. Good for you that you survive. It's all about playing the Andrews. Yeah, it pissed them off, but we sold goods to the Yellows at a discount in exchange. The Yellows kept them off of backs. You don't have to beat up the big guy to win. You just have to make him step back so the other big guy sees he's off balance. Stand-up fights are for mages. We're about to survive. Destroy everyone else in the shadows. Know anything about the mages? I'm just staying out far away from as possible. I'm not connected enough to hear anything important. All that about monsters is just plain doctrine. I'm not afraid of monsters, just don't want to get their attention. All I know is that a couple of months ago we had our eldest Nakamura, Itunja, Jan, and Magpie, and now we don't. Magpie, not the Magpie. The Magpie may not be a lady. She disappeared a month or so ago. Just up and closed the shop one night, and nobody heard from her. Again, Zippy thinks she's on vacation, but I don't know. This change started a lot after she disappeared, so maybe she's in hiding and is taking care of the other ladies by one. Ooh, why would she do that? To be blunt, she's a hateful, shrewd old badger of a person. It was always her way of, or the highway. She had butt heads with the other ladies over damn near anything. Last fight she had was with Tan over something or other. I guess she ended up throwing some of his micro drones into a deep fry and threatening to kick his ass around the block. What was her line of business? Matrix gear. Her shop starred the Jackpoint. Not very imaginative, I know. It always had the hottest programs, best chips, made for some killer decks for anything willing to pay her rates. It cost splendid in the end, but she was one of the best in the business, at least in Hong Kong. If you don't know about her, you should talk to Zippy. He's one of the only people around here who got along with Magpie. You can probably find him by the MTR station. He loves the steam bun. Try over there. See you around, Mo. Alright, boys, we're looking for Zippy. Oh, God, this... Alright. Now we're looking for good old Zippy. We'll talk to Taylor. Watch. Alright, Taylor can tell us. And about this, alright, he hands around the chart. And Zippy. So it's out of this area. Oh yeah, I can zoom out. Ah, we found him. Zippy. Hey, Zippy, the orc is basically snatching a steam bun. As you approach, she wipes off one of his hands and sticks it out towards you. Hey, stranger, nice to meet you. Zippy Two-Tag. Oh, Tag is the service. How you liking one pod? I'm JermaSUS. Nice to meet you, Zippy. Nice to meet you too. Listen, I know it's a little forward of me to just say hello and whatnot, but I'm interested in giving you a hand if I can. Zippy just spent with this twirly the neon lit streets of Important. This is my home, at least for the time being. I might stop these chillings. We never met before this, but I know exactly who you are. You're my replacement. The others had me up see what was left about the John and Order and Nakamura after they got ripped apart, but I didn't want to dig any deeper. So, since I don't know you and I can smell a Shadowrun a mile away, you'd have to be outside there stop chillings, right? Where's still this, right? See, you have good eyes, and not good eyes, actually. If you're in the market for replacements, only slightly used, and they come from a certified honest, I swear. A hearty belly laugh erupts from the orc, and he slaps one hand of his thighs in eruption. Man, I kill myself. We're funny, stand-up comedian. Yeah, but are you kidding? I'm one of the only trained surgeons around here. I keep the other important. It's healthy, that I practice down the road. Blind Chin's a pretty good cyber doc. I mean, it's based on the plant specialist, and that's it. How'd you end up here? I did my residence back in the UK. I started become a MD too, if they decided down south for unrelated reasons. True damn pro if I haven't joined the Navy. I also decked a little. I'm better at slit since Jin than you seem. My poor done similar to the Finn. You must have a lot of customers. That's the ship trough I've charged to cover my straws and eat. but it's damn near free service. There's always a waiting list, and it's good. Honest work. I like helping my neighbors in the community. We all look out for each other. Somebody mess with one of us, they mess with all of us. That's kind of community is rare as gold. These days, how many places have ethos like us? Not the damn co-ops, that's the same shit. I lived in a lot of places. Now my fair share of Shadowrun. Not place, but this place is special. I've been locked down. I very like it. I very felt like anywhere was a real home. I'm sure I'll move again, but not for a while. I'm not done with the serious people. So it's very peaceful around here. Yeah, for the most part. Other than killings, we don't have much by the way of problems. We do information security for the triads and what makes us very impervious to anyone who wants to start trouble. And when we start somewhere, hit them in the matrix. And while our triad friends hit them in the meat space. Some small time games have tried pushing in here before, but they backed off when they figured out they weren't just picking a fight with Tang and his guys. With the red dragon yellow lotus. They got the message real quick. What was left of them anyways. Let's give like you better run Paul the God. Should I tell you anyone know? What are your thoughts about the murders? Pretty gruesome business. John died from a broken neck that somewhere had wrenched it around, and his arms and legs were cut off, some blades taken away too. That gentleman had his throat ripped out by someone with a pretty sharp teeth. At first that was a devil rat, but the teeth marks were all from some with a humanoid jaw. I didn't look at Tunde. From what I saw at distance, it was the same story. Didn't seem much a point, since I had seen it twice already. As for Thorn, from what Paul told me, it was Janet Kimura all over again. You take a look at him? Yeah, it's the same as you described for the others. Damn, I like Thorn. The BTO business is unsavory, but the man's had to eat. His seems were great. Generally all around nice guy. Friend with everyone, never had anyone mad at them. They ain't no jest, let me tell you. Why didn't you tell me all the others? Why the fuck am I speaking broken English from time to time? Why can you tell me about the blah blah blah? Fuck, you know? We'll start with the eccentric part, that's for sure. Where's that? Enya is the spiritual leader here. She is the voice of the vampires. I guess a lot of her close friends are really more of a follower, since she's something of a priest. But a machine spirits. Well, it's a torture thing for the people who grew up here. Yeah, but it's never called to me. Still, she makes a damn fine party. Hips the muscle and is in complete knowledge of cyber and bioware. Definitely a good job to have watching your back. Not the friendly, but you know how it is. You get a lot of cyber people start wondering if you tear their arms off. He's got moved straight out of Blood Carnival 3, The Reckoning. Terrible movie. But great fight choreography. What about Thane? I don't know much about him, but I think he's got some kind of fetish for automation. Found him throwing over some shreds of automated delivery drones in a warehouse once. He works with the drones. He's a shop dog that blessed out of the fab. He was raving about efficiency of the movement patterns of some. You already know about Thorn, Rand, Sims, BDO, Steel Chips. Yeah, he used to be a city planner before he had a nervous breakdown that involved with statistical analysis. That would kill anyone. The posters. That remote came from Fukuoka. He was interested in entertainment. Trades mostly. Spent a lot of time analyzing subliminal ads. Then there was Magpie. She was the chief decker. Hot as hell against IC and built her own hardware. South, the old woman though. Never met anyone who was quite as shrill over nasty when she was mad. She was mad most of the time. And about Magpie, she sounds like difficult to work with. That's what everyone said. Me, I never had a problem with her. You say, you would just have to know how to finesse her a little, you know? Make sure she thought everything you wanted her to do was her idea the whole time. If you didn't do that, it was like dealing with a goddamn mule. It was good. I was good at it, so it was never a problem. Can you tell me about it? She wouldn't want to know. Where do you think she went? No idea. One day she was here, next, poof. At first I thought she was just on vacation center. She mentioned want to see the Kingdom of Hawaii someday, but it didn't feel right. She would have at least told me she was leaving. See, Maya suspicious to me. Nobody else seemed to care what happened to her, probably because she pissed them off so badly. Is there a place you think I should start looking? You know, I want to check out her shop. Look, it's all locked up, but the other Magpie elders have a spare key. Try not to look around, even though Magpie was already butting heads with the elders. They won't have any reason not to let you in. What do you mean the butting heads? Magpie never saw eye to eye. She was contrary for the sake of it. Most of the rest had a grand vision for what they wanted the neighborhood to become. Magpie just wanted that. She was only an elder because they needed someone with her matrix chops. The last big argument was between her and J.Ip Nakamura. It was something relative true, and I think Nakamura wanted to expand the pirate trade business into the matrix, and she just basically refused. Why'd she refuse? Just something about not using up valuable band for trivial entertainment bullshit. Anyways, it went from there into this rant about how she wasn't gonna let Tang expand his drone business any further because it would get too much medical attention. They accused her of blocking them just because she could, which is probably true. A lot of streaming. What do you mean blocking them? Everybody needs their matrix skills for the business to run properly. There are other deckers, me, say, or Mo Janabi, but she had the infrastructure. If the projects didn't interest her, she wouldn't even give them time of day. She had a real hard head about having her time wasted. But she figures if she is not interested in something, it has no value objectively. Kind of a major blind spot if you ask me. Sounds like she was critical. Yeah, no, she was, but she was disappointed. But she disappeared. But since she disappeared, LDIP's taking over running the Matrix infrastructure. He's not just her, but his experience with drones makes him the best candidate. They wouldn't trust something like that to anyone who wasn't elder. So there you go. See you around, Zipper. This man just gave us valuable information out of the ass. We did everything we need. Alright, can we talk to you about letting us in? What can you tell me about the Magpie? She was a bitch that I've never met anyone who's deliberate contrary with her. There's not much to say. Nobody wanted to hang out with Magpie, even though she was the newest elder. She acted high and mighty around everyone. She rocked deals and argued against Nakamura and ninjas just because she could. Why is she so contrary? It was just nature. She loved fights and gossip. Any chance to get someone else down, she'd take it. I guess I always figured she had some deep-seated insecurities and covered up by attacking other people. Alright, so we have two choices. We can go parking lot or we can go grab the key. We're gonna do parking lot first. Because we're gonna pick up some clues here. No, we're gonna be very useful later. Oh god, it's always gonna be displayed as JermaSUS. Alright, we're gonna talk to these people. We can take them in a fight, I know that for sure. Hey, that's fine enough, guy. You won't have a weapon tossing a nod towards the gangsters behind. Gangsters behind. There's lots out there. If you're looking for a fix, you're right to trade. If you're not here for business, clear the hell out. You try to run around out there from now to here you are. So what they say, looking for a pick me up? Not to give you some pep. Maybe you want some chips, they did ya. You want a job. What the? Attack them. The German 95 response. Deck them. Kill them all. No. We ain't no murder hobo. I feel like German would be the bard. No, I feel like... Alright. A serious discussion about what class German would play in Dungeons and Dragons. Alright, so... He's pretty charismatic and known for his hijinks. So a charisma class would probably be his go-to. Now, the obvious choice would be the bard. Oh, German would play the bot, you say. So obvious. But no, I think he'd play the fighter class. He'd either be a fighter or a rogue. For the rogue, he'll probably go for the swashbuckler. And for the fighter, he'll probably go for the one of the newer classes, the scrap fighter. That's my theory. That's my guess. Can look around this garage. Fuck. Yeah, there's the fucking session. Man, are you dead? What? How did I just say? No, dead. No, you dead. Then what can want to run out tough? Fuck. I need a social etiquette. I have 2 of those. What happened in the fight here? As far as I know, some police showed up looking for somebody. They didn't kill all of them got killed. Who they were after, long gone by the time they showed up. There used to be a lot of unpawns living here. They all cleared out, muttering about ghosts and shit. What else have you heard about the murders? Not much, I'll tell you that though. I got a guy named Chan. He was down in the storm drain last week. Something was moving down there, big too, man-sized. But it wasn't speaking a language we can't understand. She'd beat feet back here as fast as he could. The man's dropped his storm drain chain on the way out though. You wanna go looking for it, whatever it was, you'll have to go get a new key from someone else. Can't steal his from City Watcher. Who else might have a key? This guy named Paul Lamb, who's that cheese to pretty much everyone. He's somewhere between a chop and an anime. You know, so much some elf named Crazy. Tried to hear who managed to scam a key. He said she hunted paratroopers down there, double rats. Some of these BDLs look they came from pawn shop. Yeah, someone who came. Must have done them recently. How'd you know Tyron was there? It's like Broken Thumb Yin was walking down the street and sees this guy going to Tarnch John right at closing time. The guy hunched over, had this shitty drain rain poacher draped over him. Now Ewan figured that was weird as hell, so he posts up and waits. He figures the guy is coming out soon to start closing up shop. Nothing for 15 whole minutes. Guy comes out, hustles down the street with nobody saying boo. I figured he was waiting for a nap in the crowds. Ewan sees some blood smear on the door though, so he goes in and checks it out. Inside through carnage, but you know what? Don's not gonna be using his gear anymore, so hell with it. You injects a lot. Business. You're damn right it is. That's all I know. Then have to be a chill, tall, great rain poach hunched over. I was smart about how it came and went. Show them what you have. They got Jazz Bliss, Kamikaze, and Nitro. When interested. So we need either socialite or gang. Socialite is gonna be useful later on. And there's a bloody drain and some stains. We don't have the necessary skills. I mean, we could just clear them all out. Yeah, we could. There's like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. There's 7 of them, and we need that. We do not need that clue, but it could be useful. Fuck, you know. Alright. Alright, the team's ready to go. Pulling out the 18 out of 7. What's the best cover in here? This pillar offers no cover. Total bullshit, but fuck it. What are you? A thug. Alright. Get into some cover. Aim shot. We don't aim. We aim at low HP people. We go after the mage first. All right. Second to go. Tyler 1. Nah. We do a grenade launcher. Nice damage. Nice damage. Third to go. Most critical. Oh, perfect. Fourth to go. Legend of Total War. Buff to Tyler 1. Oh, we did a nice 12. Now we gotta chill them all. Oh shit. Going into melee. Ooh, Mrs. German with a baseball bat. Oh, 19 crit. How the fuck? We go heal on Germa. And now Germa's about to unload into this. Who has the glowy hands? You have the glowy hands. Fuck. Alright, if we attack... Shit. Do it. Do a bit of damage. Flank bleeding. Alright. Most critical. Nice. Dead. Baseball bat. Useless. Alright. Hell yeah. Damn, Tyler 1 behind that desk. Invincible. Can shoot me through that fucking pillar, eh? Oh well, you know what they say. JermaSUS. 23 crit coming from Tyler 1. Damn, all those years playing Draven finally paid off, eh? Ah, one miss. That miss would have ended it. Oh well. From here. Stun him. As for Gobbet. Move here. Spray and pray. Hell yeah. American Gangster. Legend of Total War. How the fuck is that a flank? How much ammo do we have? We have what? 10 bullets left, right? Alright, Tyler 1. Deal with him. Nice miss. We're slowly but surely getting them. Watch. Alright. Get rid of this guy. Perfect. Oh. 7 damage coming up. This is the only combat of this mission as far as I can remember, so we're good. Relocate Germa. We need you alive and kicking. Ooh, nice direct hit, nice direct. Miss. Aim shot. 8 damage. Reload. Oh yeah, she has a few of these fetishes that I never use. Alright, puts herself out in the open. So that's really stupid of her. Base returns is flanked for everybody else. Set up Overwatch. And shoot. And there we go. We got their PDAs. A small PDA sits on the table. The outlaw of the cranium illuminates the surface around it. Does not appear to be locked. Check recent email. Dear OS 311 email client. Please sort the file. New location in garage. Wilson, we've got the door head from the vampire eldest to move into the parking garage. What the fuck happened? They was always spooked the locals. They were superstitious about moving back into the place they could have filled with angry ghosts. It's a bunch of bull, but whatever. The bottom line is we have a new place to set up shop. They're on a request that we pay a percentage of our sales back to them, and we keep anyone nosy at our turf. Works for me. I know where Kanye is. Last I heard from him, he was checking out the storm drains, looking for a place to use as a drop so we wouldn't have to stash all the chips up here in the garage. When he came back up, he said something about man seeing a monster down there. He described his man sounds but covered in gore and speaking some kind of monster language. Chinese! Nah, just kidding. He was so spooky he dropped his key of the drains on the way out. Total idiot, so I told him to take a few days off. We're still looking for him. Touch his flat some poor card. He's probably drunk off his ass some. Unfortunately, that means we don't have any more keys to the storm trains. I know the Portal Lamb has some way you can ask them. And also the elf woman named Rainbow Smite that's been down there hunting paracritters. Maybe we should buy her key from her. Elder murders. I don't know if any of you have heard about the way the others have been getting picked off one by one, but stay out of it. They've been nice enough to let us set up shop here, but their business isn't our business. If anyone asks you to look into it, tell them to talk to me. I don't want to get mixed up in whatever politics are ripping those crazy tech kid junkies apart. And what didn't come out of all this is that we picked up Thorn's BTL stash earlier tonight. You and saw someone go into the Thorn shop right before closing time. When he came out, the door was unlocked. Thorn was at the bar. Maybe he was he was the killer. Maybe he was just pitching the place so like we did. Either way, let me say it again for you boneheads. Stay out of it. There we go. We got confirmation about some stuff. And now we can investigate this place. Some bloodstains. Dry blood in both holes. Pot marks the floor. Pillars and walls of barking glass. Judging by the amount of blood stained on the floor, multiple people died here. The crowd seemed bloody. What to do with the service? This was a massacre of tremendous proportions. Into this JermaSUS. These scratches looked like they're from a long bladed weapon like a sword machete. With a number of bullet holes in the walls and charges around it, they must have been just spraying wildly. Our killer must have fought the HJPF in here and cut them apart. Since they never found a body, they assumed the killer dead away. I tell you what, I don't want to have to fight this many at close range. A master melee combat guy choose. Dry blood clots clog the drain as your close cover something catches around and off red color doesn't match the hues of the door around it. Bending closer appears to be a small nugget or some push the item out. The nugget upon closer inspection is a chunk some kind of synthetic ferroplastic. It's rather jagged edges, but it's broken off a larger object. A number of small markings are particularly obscured by scratches, decipher the emblems. Brushing away the dust, you peer at the fragments, a bit of ferroplastic. The scratches and markings of nuggets seem vaguely familiar, and after a moment strikes you. You're not seeing the entirety of the markings, as the remains of the piece seem as the remain of the piece of ferron concrete. Were a scratch to be complete, they would read Renraku Kodaku Kabishiki Gaisha. Japanese names from Renraku Applied Sciences. The branch from Renraku Asia responsible for material science. Alright. Now that's everything in here. We did that. Can we talk to Kate about some? Oh no, she doesn't know stuff. But we can talk to this guy. This guy is pretty knowledgeable. Hey again, in the office. Our father police in your did with close range with a blade. Definitely unusual. There are a lot of people in Hong Kong to fight with a blade, but not many of them to take out 4 police officers and win. That's a losing fight, even for the best games out there. I look forward to no common killer. See you around. Others said we can only talk to Kate about the piece of armor. What tell me about this piece of armor? I want a straight shot. Rich didn't know anything about armor. It's made of nice. Oh, in that case, I can actually help you. Let me see. Oh, he's translating Japanese. Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have the academic trait, this man can translate it for you. It says in Ratu, it's the Japanese name for Rat. What? How did? Which there are dream part? Not in itself, poised to find a piece of high-tech armor like. It's Jeddah and Mark Mar on it. One hell of been there. It seems to see it. Bought some cops in there. I don't know much about the maggots. But it seems it's a pretty rare armor to find in a serial killer. I don't think off-the-shelf armor has this research mark, but it seems pretty high quality. You have to do it somewhat. Yeah. Alright, so next thing we have to do is storm drain. When we go and talk to the porter. Yes, a storm drain key. Hey man. Do you have the key? Sure. Go on the lead and chill. In that case, they damn you up, Jimmy, for all out. Alright man, thanks. See you. Let's see, not there. Should be, yeah, there it is. Alright, sorry about that. Enter the storm drains window. The storm drain has absorbed this. Oh, look at this. Oh yeah, this is where we find. Yeah, I remember. The storm drain. It's about darkness. You see something like at the edge of the drain. Looking closely, appears to be a necklace chain of some kind. Which I'm caught in the drain grate. Now avoided falling down the deep pit. Take the necklace. Lift the necklace out of the drain. You turn it over in your hand. It's a simple silver pendant on a chain. The silver pendant depicts a long-tailed bird in flight. A magpie. Oh. Oh yeah, I remember this. Alright, let's see. We're gonna save here. There's two ways this can end. As you're around the corner, hear a voice speaking just loud enough for you to make out your senses. They're speaking definitely not local. They speak with a such Slavic accent and their clothing is heavily armored. Around them are a number of crates and boxes almost filled with such. The group is packing up. Yaroslav says the boat will be ready tomorrow morning. He's gotten everything arranged with the port authority. We move the goods to his warehouse. He'll handle loading them onto ship. And we get paid later then and there. I'll be glad I'm done with this filthy face. I will too. I hate having to hide in these damn drains. It stinks down here. I can hear the devil rats running down the walkways. It's a mess. It's a disgusting disgrace. We shouldn't have to put up with this shit. You know, Sander still isn't back. With his little trip off the leave behind if doesn't get back. I know, Dylan. This is when the clear from the triads. We can't be seen with the goods. On the streets to find us, we go back. The body was stuck in sausage casings. It was regretting that you don't stroll around when it comes to protecting that turf. Who knows, maybe Alexander was stupid and they caught him. Either way, we'll have to load this trap for the drains for clips. The woman sniffs into the air, especially her eyes. Now towards the dark tunnels you're standing, before you have the chance to get a satchel outside with you. The alert search chin as she regards you, cracking her knuckles. What do we have here? Curious little pest. Come look for things that don't concern them. What do we do with pests? We break them and then we hammer a spike for each of their throats, so anyone who sees their bodies knows not to mess with us. So just stay where you are. Ooh, all these choices are really nice. The vampire does know I'm down here. Instead of fight, you don't have every drone and sub or junkie in those streets crawling up your ass. Some of the cracking his nose out of Russian's woman's eyes. She shifts back and forth, never so shooting and glance at the orc. Finally, she lets it. You think we're afraid of these little worms? You think we're afraid of you? Don't make me laugh. It could be out here. You could be out of here before the. We could be out here before they realize you're missing. You didn't know strange ships would give a shit about what happens on here? I think so. Oh shit, it's Moist Trickle. Coming in with the hype. But the move shit, give me a reason to put you down. You think so hard, I kill trash like you every day. I don't care who you are, what you're doing here. I just want to find the person better than the others. Ah, there we go. You think I give a shit about what you're doing out here? Nah, that concerns me. Tell me, why should I let you? You see, there is not even Shadowrunner to activate here. Shadowrunner is the worst attitude you could take. Look around you. The storm drains out like resonant chambers. The exit on the streets will be like a mouth of a trumpet. But yeah, they hear gunshots in the turf. You think I'm simply thinking you can fast start me with some. He's right to let you know how sound can echo through these tunnels. Shit. You don't care about what we're doing? No, I really know. So what do you want from us? Is there anything you can tell me about the murders that I might not know? We don't get a lot. We don't even know there were murders. If I hadn't bothered to come out to get some soy calf last week, none of our business. There's no problem. You have anything to do with them being murdered? And still, we're hiding down here, so we almost don't know we're stolen from them. Well, we got a chance. You're chilling probably dead in your way, though. Of course we would, but they're not in our way. We just need storm drains around here to move our gear for trouble without being spotted. Which we wouldn't fear them. Alright, see you later. Yeah, that's about it. Alright, Zippy, what can you do for me? We already talked to you. Well, the only thing left to do is Magpie's shop. Grab a key to Magpie's shop. With that thought, wait, this chick also has key to storm drains. Yeah, this is a rainbow. We don't talk to her. We don't care about her. Her existence is superfluous. This is the close window. Show what you do. Hey, look at this. Ooh, look at them. Armor free, armor free. We got our secure armor clothing. Why? Because we're the best. +1 armor. We don't care about that. Goodbye. You know nothing. That woman knows nothing. Oh, we did this time. Min Catalan. How much is it saying? Ooh, look at them. D-grade, sniffer, drug mule. Ah, yes, the drug mule. The Doberman. But now we gotta, we're gonna be looking around all these drones until we find what we're looking for. We'll find Jerma. Is there anything you can do? I found a necklace down the sewers. Is it med pass? And the Ip turns the necklace over in his hands and hands back after a moment. As Evelyn Bond, I have the key to her shop. Just don't break anything. And then don't shut off the service. Why is that this? Why tell me about the med pass display? Why would we have the departure from the vampires and way to the destination? It just happens to. But before the killings began, I searched she stopped sulking somewhere. And that she'll come waltzing back next month. All for that, do like that life there to go on without asking her permission. If she does, we'll welcome her back. Despite our problems with her behavior, her skills are extremely valuable. I've taken over infrastructure matrix. I've taken maintenance over matrix infrastructure in absence. I'm no near low, but all I can do is ensure nothing breaks down until she returns. She could be responsible for the killings. Not mentioning her seems like a major oversight. Magpie, I doubt that. Our character flaws she might have, she's in the pacifist. Whatever's after that. Alpha one, she would want to remove. She wanted me removed from the council elder. She says I was too prone to violence. I guess she never saw all the times I kept the red dragons from robbing her blind. I'd really Magpie would not result in murder of a person with this. The NDA is ridiculous. Why'd you want the HJPF into the ball last month? Miguel's taken bad attention for a moment. He says nothing when his composure does return. He speaks deliberately and with great care. We generally don't let the police into the vampire garden. It's true, but in this case we made an exception. The police were very polite and offered to look the other way over some of our deals with the local Jawan pirates. They also made it clear that if we refuse, they might not only take an interest in our deals with the pirates, but they'd call in a special duties unit to force them in. We repelled the Hong Kong police before, but when they tried to push us around, we probably dropped them with special duties units as well, but the cost involved would be high. Since they weren't hunting a vampire, we saw no reason to refuse the request. Who were they here for? They didn't say, and when they didn't ask, the HGPF isn't exactly forthcoming with about the business, and we found that the less we know about their interests, the safer vampire garden is. When they take an interest in the police, they return the favor. As far as I know, they went to the parking garage, there was a gunfight, the police never came out. More showed up a few hours out looking for the missing officers, but didn't let those in, though. Which they did what was left of their bodies to them. When did you let them in? We weren't allowed a group of 4 men because they asked politely. When they reinforced me, there was only 30 of them. We don't raise the rest of the police. Setting up camp in our streets, it would be a circus. Disrupt their lives and business. I'll be going now. Alright, we got exactly what we need. The key to Magpie's shop. And the key to solving this, to blowing this mystery wide open. The Jack Boy. Oh, look at this place. It looks so high-tech. Display cases. The bin is full of assorted chips, peripherals, and add-on modules for subjects. They don't seem to be arranged in a coherent fashion or spread across the thoughts of search for it. You sift through searching for anything that might prove interesting. Please pass you into the bin as you search. Ooh, that's interesting. There's a lot of storage memory. I/O handlers in that memory in the bin. I'm not seeing any MFCP hardware response increased chips or anything waiting hot. Shit, that you might probably supposed to be into. In fact, you could even build a full deck with this shit. Without the MPCP. It's just a glorified comment. What do you mean? What do you think it means? Well, if I had to guess, it says somebody's clearing the route. MPCP responsive by feedback voters and all that. There is a more expensive, highly legal. All the rest of this crap is good, but that need to pick up. It's not to pick up in an electronics store. You have to know what you're looking for, though. Only a detective would know what they were seeing. They might have taken it with her. I guess so, but if she did, why would she leave the complete cyberdex? No, I think this was theft. Alright, so someone robbed her. We have some open servers over here. The front of the server's case hands open. The inner machinery quiet and without power. Flipboard is stuck to the side by a piece of duct tape. It's paper spilled with a long list of programs and their prices. Outward print. Glance over the program sheet reveals names like Bards, and Black Hammer. And that lady was Mad's Stab Program Source. Someone removed the driver and sure was Magpie. Here, look, his word gestures to the innards of the open server near the back and south of red light burns. The main drives weren't disconnected properly, but looks like she modded the server to have a backup drive with its own battery-based power supply. If this was Magpie, she have taken that too. Crowd, this is a Fuji XP 1000. So the battery power ran out a while ago. The XP 1000 are constant white drivers. They're dirt cheap and have a ton of capacity, but if you run out of power, they lose their data. We're not getting anything out of the drive. Now we go into the back. Well, we tap the computer. But this is like that I'm messing most people also said with rasness, hoarders and deckers. The surface of the desk is laid out with cigar, red butts, half-finished cans of soy cap, and straps of electronics. Turn power empty instant noodle holes since next to it. Their signs are blazing with honest man's instant old time manian, and the line atop a hat belly chitapilla, dancing with canes. Hey, also, I think anyone but me liked honest man's noodles. I will let you never taste the good package of instant noodles. I promise. See, this one's cheesy curry broccoli. I don't know why I never cut on, honestly. And then shoots your sideline sounds one with subtle voice. Okay. Gee, who could pass up the delightful taste of cheese, curry, and freeze-dried vegetables? I know, right? People out here have no clue what kind of curry they're missing. Search the deck. Just ignores them and searches the deck. You gingerly root around in the desk, doing your best to avoid the more distressing piles and spills. It isn't easy. And there's drawers of stuff, phone receipts, cigarette pads, optical chips, and cables. Most of the cons are boring, useless, and distrusting. One such one at the bottom drawers have a low-quality tin lock box attached to your eyes. Someone has pried the latch off, leaving a rat hole where the lock used to be. Interior of the box is several sleeves of storing key cards, all of which are empty. A small note stapled in the interior of the box. Spare storeroom keys. There is in the rear of Miss Yan's restaurant. Do not lose these. It was only if I'm not available. Open. It was only if I am not available to open the stock room. Some match by the bathroom. There's not much in here. Toothbrush, toilet paper, some half pins, and clutch of cheap makeup combination. Bath shower unit, however, has a minor flames of dry reddish substance near the drain. The blood, dried blood, right up the drain. It looks like quite a bit of it has shed as well. Shit, man, what we didn't see. Didn't take the trip after all with that amount of blood. I'm guessing someone killed her while they drained the blood in the bath. You make it clean to relocate. Clever, that's a careful plan. I think there's a lot more going on with these murders than we initially told. First, they didn't even mention Magpie to us, and it looks like she's been killed. Sounds not right here, JermaSUS. Let's not mention this to the others if they're hiding anything. You may start clearing up the tracks better. Alright, that's everything we can grab here. This means we are in fact... Alright, zipping. Let's see... Oh. Some of... Depends what's missing. What's still there? A lot of ships have been cleaned and software too. Some food, both decks that are still there. It doesn't seem right to me. At one point, when rode through the stands, it's not our way. And trying to like that is taken serious, and nobody knows how to move ships, and it's hurting for money. If they were there, it's too high. We're a small community, someone would notice. I guess it's an outside the gear, and it has to be stashed somewhere. Any outside snooping around? And then you know, people do come and go from here every day, but nobody stays. You're only here for business. If whoever stole her stuff is here, they've been hiding. I'm thinking, I did have a stockroom here in the basement of some restaurant around here. It was awful cagey about where it was, though. I never saw a key. Maybe the gear's down there. I found this necklace was a Magpie's. Yeah, where'd you find some storage into it in blood? Shit. And it's not in the way I thought. If that's where you found her, she's got to be dead. I'll find her. It says, yeah, this business keeps getting weirder and weirder. Someone killed my friend, finally make him hurt and mess someone else. See, really zippy. Alright, let me just alright. Now let's see, we talked to Zippy. For the lamb, we'll talk to him as well. Alright, nothing we can get from him. Which means shaman dudes are our last option. Yeah, nothing from him. This means there's one more last option. Alright. We're going down storm drain. We're not that with these people. They got it. You took your Magpie's keychains, didn't you? Yeah, we did. Our Atlantic one literally said he wanted to sleep the start room, see if there was anything worth stealing. We have time to wait for him. See if you see him, tell him catch the hell up. Alright, we got him. Alright, we got that. Now we just gotta find where the fucking stock room is. It's at the back of some restaurant. Ah, there it is. Magpie storeroom. Alright, people. Get back to combat. Nah, just kidding. Despite the table's true construction, and an artful wide meal awaits their owner. Several small dishes are filled with pickled vegetables, while a large plate is arranged with long slices of raw meat. The meat is pale, pinkish white, like raw pork, and it's covered in soy marinade. Watching the meat, you discover that it's surprisingly tender. What's more, it has the faint aroma of marinade, as if deliberately prepared. Leave the meat alone. I know what that is, but I'm not touching it. The basket is packed full of odds and ends. It nearly overflows with a collection of knickknacks, souvenirs, and associated personal effects. There is no rhyme or reason to the collection of items. They appear to have been thrown in haphazardly. Along the contents are charms from various temples, over the mask and a paper fan. Examine the mask. The mask is a stream of light. It's been painted a pale white, and the surface is almost as smooth as porcelain. Delicate features, lifted eyebrows are matched with bright red lips, delicate carving teeth. They have been stained with deep black. Examine the charms. The small charms are square cloth packets, each approximately 1 inch wide and 3 inches tall. They come in a variety of bright colors and are embroidered with characteristics of prosperity, peace, wealth, and protection. Inside each appears to be a folded paper prayer or fortune written in Japanese. Examine the paper fan. Unfolding the fan, you tilt it up towards the light to examine the image of the East Asian city from the 19th century and earlier. Curved looks at sunset beside a deep blue river. Their ships sail down the river, which is in turn spanned by a long wooden bridge. I am the greatest of all time. I am not the greatest of all time. I am the medium of all time. In the foreground, laborers carry buckets along the shore as a man on horseback rides in the opposite direction. In the distance, a pair of large red buildings dominate the city skyline. One large temple hall and a 5-tiered pagoda. Leave the box alone. As you step away from the box, you hear a slight click in the distance, the sound of a door latch shutting. You're no longer alone in the stock room. Standing before is a man clad in heavy armor, bearing a katana on his hip. His skin is an ashen grey, his eyes dead white. His teeth are jagged and appear quite sharp. There is no man. This is a goblin. It's the greedy grin. Joe's blind eyes do not search back and forth as it regards you. You cannot see you, but you have a sense that it knows exactly where you are. Ah, hired John. No doubt brought to bear against me by one poor elders, the means by which they can lift a cause, plugging them. I salute your tenacity, but I wonder, will you hear me out before you raise your weapon to kill me? You do, and you're talking. Yes, I'm not only touching, I am reasoning as well. And since you have not attempted to tell me your higher facilities are engaged, I am curious to you. The dog bears his teeth, breath rasping over them as he inhales. I wish to know not only what I am, but what I have done. As for who, you may call me the greedy Drenner. I know you are the one chewing out of Poland. You are correct. I have killed all of the vampire elders to date. The only elder magpie was thrown into my initial plan. I'll address the deaths of the vampire elders, but it was necessary. Explain yourself. This affair began simple as enough. As you may surprise, I'm not someone who can be taken in public without great risk. Bruh. Vampire garden is not some place to hide. No police attract presence and many interesting things that lurk in the shadows. Unfortunately, and the engine is stolen for communication with the spirits. And until it chased me away, he came to me with a proposition. And then others have now entrapped one of the number. An elder named Magpie had been holding many of the plans hostage. And without budge. I did not remove Magpie, however, because her services were too useful. The vampire elders at large. No, they offered me payment to dispose of her, and I accepted. Who shoots you a silent glance? That's Baron. He grits his jaw. What the hell would you talk to this thing, JermaSUS? He said, "Damn do," and you know what they're like. Really? What, pray tell am I like our different class? And don't I expect? Really? You want to crack jokes? You cannibal? You're the kind of man that devours a family, but it's convenient. Remember the 162s, JermaSUS? He's just like them. The 162s were a gang, well, in the Barons. And that makes a lot of difference. Go on then, talk to the master, but I'm keeping my finger on the goddamn trigger. I will have that much speaking of the elders' plan to have me kill the magpie. She must be a little jealous about it. You didn't clean up all of her blood upon summer train. Ah, unfortunate. I thought I was careful enough. Having it in my hands must have obscured my sense of smell after I missed the last remnants in the drain. I disposed the magpie's body by emptying the blood in the bathroom. Then I cut it up into more portable pieces. They were placed in plastic top, which I took to the storm drains and hid. It's unfortunate, but my survival depends upon consuming the blood matter human flesh. And such nourishment that the waste will be fully shallow. Why kill the others then? I contacted the elders, not in person of course, and they attempted to exchange payment. I assumed since the job was done, and Jay would be the woman of her word. I was mistaken. I laughed at me by packing the lies the others had told me about. It laid out the idea of pawns under some pretense, though I'm not sure what rules they used. The elders never showed up. Instead, several members of the Hunter police force arrived. They were more heavily armed than usual, so I suspected they knew something of my nature. I was so strong to turn tree from bullets and blade. But you with a sword? And my hands, yes. My blindness precludes the use of ranged weapons. Unfortunate, since I was an artisan shot before I became fit, but my skills in grappling and ninjutsu are encased. Better swords in a clash of souls. Mine was stronger than theirs, and they perished. A betrayal of that sort cannot stand. Not only was I not paid for my time and effort, the vampire others treated me like a common animal. And I am so much more than that. Reputation is everything, and I had none. I hoped to build a network of contacts so that I'd be able to continue finding work. But with that treachery, my hopes were dashed, and it said they would become the monster they feared. One by one I have eliminated them. They knew how to contact me, and could have ended their nightmare at any time by making amends. I would have asked for more money, but I would have seized my heart, yet they did not. Instead they contacted you, not asking you to eliminate me where the police have failed. I asked you what now? What will you do? Will you attempt to finish what the vampire started? Will you treat me like some say with the same humanity I've shown you? Let me ask you some questions. Well, I would know. Is this from your armor? Ah, yes, I left a ragged edge on one of my... I felt a ragged edge on one of my shoulder plate. I assume it was removed when one of the police stopped shopping with his rifle. The hazards of war include unkempt attire, unfortunately. Why would the elders have killed you instead of paying you? Any number of reasons. They're notorious cheapskates and will always try to save money when dealing with outsiders. It will be natural inclination towards profit. They may regard me as subhuman and therefore unworthy of respect. It will be that they felt I was too dangerous to allow to live. It will be that they simply did not like me. And it is the same. However, they renegated on a deal that we broke it, and attempted to have me killed. A message must be sent. Blood must be paid. As they hired you to kill me, they obviously not learned from their lesson. Did you eat the others? Some of them, not all. My condition requires that I consume raw metahuman flesh, and that I consume a great deal to survive, perhaps 3 to 4 pounds every week. Consequently, there is vastly more supply than demand. If I let you live, what will you do? Kill the rest of the others. Anyone else they send to exterminate me. It's a master of survival. Should I ever have the opportunity to freelance again? Potential employers need to understand the price of betrayal. These murders are my curriculum. Vitae and revenge. I made my decision. Don't work with me, I'll be your face. I'll kill your Safa, and what of the others? Will you allow me to such fast and kill them? I want to see what they have to say first. I would just counsel you not to believe their words, but you have the sound of one who is very... as a matter of course. Really well. Let's wait until later late in the night. Most pedestrians around the state, and it will be easy for us to approach the vampire without being noticed. Sounds like a good plan. Alright, gents, we're going in. The 5 of us, we're about to kill a man. We're about to kill several people. Nah, we ain't killing people. Why would we kill people? That drone tries to shoot me, I'll shoot it first. As you approach on her insides divide and her mouth falls apart, open, and the veins in her neck bulge. What are you doing? You brought this thing into our home to kill it before it kills us. But I have this pistol viral, but it's not aimed at anyone. Yeah, I have to say, this isn't a good idea. Why the hell is it Joe here, and why is it wearing armor? Calm yourselves, I'm not a nitch, and your elders know this intimately. Yetro bears his teeth and like this grin as he turns to face, and no, the greedy grinner. Good evening, Elder NJ. I can smell your fear, and I'm glad of this. It means you have learned the price of betrayal. Whoa, what the hell is John watching someone explaining what to do? We'll just kill them all. No. That's your contract with the elders, and they betrayed them. You dare accuse us of conspiracy with a monster covering up? You're insane. The very idea is preposterous. One nods at the elders, looking back at you with a very expression. I'm interested to hear what kind of evidence you have to support this theory, JermaSUS. You wouldn't be an imposter. As far as I can tell, this monster killed Thorn and the others. That made him a threat that should be eliminated. The other side tried to kill the magpie and make it look like she disappeared. You believe this vermin, this creature that feasts on metahuman flesh that chews in these bodies are tribesmen? You're a naive and foolish man if that's the case. A proof we have the magpie is dead. Enter, please. It is a matter where the elders is accused of breaking our law. The other elders generally judge them. In matters where all of them have been judged, I am authorized to act as a judge. Make your case, Shadowrunner. I found my bad networks in the storm drains. It's definitely a mattress find this in the storm drains that's suspicion power proof of their own. Of course not proof. The number of things lost down the storm drain on must number in the tens of thousands per year. Well, unusual it's hard evidence to prove. There's a large amount of blood of her in her storm drain. So what? Perhaps she cut herself and washed the thread off. Perhaps you're mistaken about being blood. You suggest you know what to happen. That's true, it's a guess, and even if it's her blood doesn't prove that elders had hard the drove to kill her. Yours have always protected one per darn for the rest of she hasn't been seen in much, just not by anyone. And that's a bit that may be unlikely, but it's highly impossible. You haven't established that the others were involved, all you have done is make superstitions about it. What proof do you have that we heard the betrayal of this creature? No, so by listen to the other accusations without any kind of contrary evidence. What about a fight with the Hong Kong police force? What do you mean? Does this have to do with the evidence in the garage points to a fight someone using a sword without the police on because they were hunting someone. They never told us who or what they were looking for. Didn't have anything to do with us. Natural hiss for clenched teeth addressing Portal.
I was only in the garage to collect payment from them. Ordinary residents were warned of the HJPF's arrival and they were down by the time I arrived.
That's suspicious. It doesn't prove the others knew it was Joel. This Mr. Dashdown will prove I found in the garage. The markings don't prove it. You point out the markings on a reporter, and he nods in sense. This is from his armor. Definitely. But how does this prove the others know of the duel's existence? The police officers of Namoyam were abnormally armed and armored, with much more gear than normal patrol. They were armor piercing this charging saber rounds. That's hardly stand an issue. Lesser weapons would have broken that armor plate. If all they were looking for was a common fugitive, why would they prepare for a damn magnitude? Obviously, they knew what they were searching for. That doesn't mean we did. You on points didn't allow police inside the area. Why make an exception this time? The police were polite and asked their permission to enter. They were hunting a non-one pawn. That was the reason not to allow them in. Then that's not up, NJ. Why the police asked us for entry now? They've never been polite before. And they always try to force them in. It just doesn't ring true to me. Did you ask them to come? You know, turn down the duel?
Preposterous, boss.
Porter. You know what our community is like, and we don't lie over something like this. This duel has been lying the entire time, trying to cover the tracks. It's been able to murder several elders. That's true, those murders were vicious and cruel. I don't see any way to explain that away. This duel is a monster, that's how he killed Thorn and the others. Thorn wasn't tortured. There was no astral residue of fear and pain. He didn't feel the blow.
That's tremendous that a single blow while his back was turned.
You could have called me
a spy.
His death was instant. A little bit that he had to die for your folly, NJ, but you're not necessarily to protect my reputation. And then there's the dreary grin and stony silence addressing Porter.
You can't believe what these people are saying. They're not to be trusted. And even if this is true, he still killed Tong.
But looks back at NJ, his expression flat without emotion. Maybe so, NJ, but a monster would not take Tong's suffering into account. He may be a killer, but he's not heartless. The scene was a sham. I believe the blood smeared on the walls, the removal of his skin. That scene, the picture to provoke, they evoke horror, not the scene of a natural fight. That was what we have seen in response.
This is a farce. We've dedicated ourselves to protecting the Vampire tribe and everyone who lived in Port Dead. Do you believe outside is a monster over our wood? We who have only tried to end the killings. You have been duped, Porter. You and this Shadowrunner. I don't care, Porter. You know me. You know the kind of person I am. I won't be party to the killing of another ladder.
I can't believe we're
entertain the notion that we have to defend ourselves. We should be disposing of this duel instead. If you think you'll forget this, you're so mistaken. I will not tolerate this. The others were all too happy to have the lead spears move into the garage, almost like they wanted to keep anyone curious about the fight. That's right, Ip. You told me not to go find out what happened to with the fight. You said the red spear gangs were moving in. And to leave them alone. Why would you tell me not to look into it? I was going to protect you from the red spears, the dangers, which is why I want to deal with them directly. My past years was missing, obviously missing. Why didn't I tell me that? He would have had to have noticed the magic shop stocked up. Why didn't he tell me to investigate? You superstition. And then you prove something that I didn't notice when missing. Magpie's was always a horrible mess. Then you did a phone into Magpie's matrix service. You're sure that everything was running fine and you would be able to continue the work. I find hard to believe you missed something as obvious as missing equipment, especially while searching the start. That's all I got. I think they get some idea what's going on, and what do you believe the rest of us? Dad seems to be telling the truth. Others too many facts didn't add up. You're obviously hiding some. Possibly a great deal. From the rest of the tribe, I'm sorry, but I have to take you into custody until the community can decide the extent in the matter of your punishment. That would be inappropriate. Would seem appropriate to me, especially given that they kept betrayed even to you, one of their most trusted citizens. Don't dare talk to me like that. You're a disgusting beast. He reaches out to stop him. Ip drops. Ip, no, don't make this any worse. Thank you, JermaSUS. I'll make certain the justice is meted out. You're free to go. And I will ensure payment is delivered to you, as long as you take Daichi with you. I can't have him staying here. Here we come with me. As you exit the point into the sweltering night air of the Kowloon streets, Daichi turns to you. I confess I'm not happy with the decision to allow the vampire others to live. We should have killed them, if no other reason to maintain our reputation. That's why I let them live. That's not how I would do things. Daichi bows to you. His head held over. I accept this. I want sure to working with the Shadowrunners, but I assume you would see things as I do. Hopefully there's much I can learn from you. Shall we leave this place? I mean, we're done with the report, Garden. We have gained a total of 2 karma. This entire mission was worth 2 karma. I regret half of my decisions. Nah, just I regret nothing. Hell yeah. No way. The MTR rockets noisily towards Hell along the edge of the Kowloon Bay. The black water lightens in the night with the light of 1,000 reflected star fronts. Daichi stares senselessly at the window, one hand pressed at last. The plot by the others is exposed. The pot lamps in the deputy of a new ally in respect to divine pawns. Sometimes everything goes right on a job. You count yourself lucky this time. This one of these. You count yourself lucky. This was one of those times. Eight karma. And we unlocked the Grady Grinner. Armor, is that armor -2? The way of the Red Samurai or the way of the Ghoul? I love Coup de Grace. One of my favorite abilities. Oh shit. Oh, it's Stefan Dynamite. I think I know this one. Still we have enough charisma to get what we need. Deadeye. Headshot. We could do full combat, but now we're grabbing charisma. Grabbing social hit for the late game, and that's it. The rest is oriented combat skills. The shrewd man and filthy rat stated when sour Vabon instead lets bloodshot eyes dart what desperately yet retreats in us. You okay, man? You have to help me, man. I need your help. Say the magic word first. Please, take somebody's message from message from me. Never had him. Who are you? Why are you touching me? I'm Stefan Dynamite. But you gotta help me. I've been poisoned crap at least, so we put bad things in my. Whenever I close my eyes, see dark narrow tunnels, so many hands grabbing, razor sharp teeth, now and children. Hallucinations? No. More like nightmares that feel very deep, biting faces. You know how nightmare thing has been going around in the last century. No, this isn't that. I'm telling you, I was poisoned. I know you help me, won't you? Alright, man. I'll see what I can do. Tell Lee what he's done to me. Tell I need relief. Tell him what do you want? I want my money back. Poison his money back. Anything else? Please come back, please. Hurry. Well, we just get ourselves. We do not talk to maximum law. But you would speedrun maximum law's conversation real quick. We were only here for the 120 yen. Don't make me regret my decisions. Ah, here he is, handsomely. Oh, that's a sailor. It's muddy out even for his monsoon season. You pause, mop your brow, suddenly few eyes upon you. As you glance up, in the tranquil searching gaze of a man half hidden in shadows. He's wearing a crisp white tailored suit, shirtless. Shirt sleeves meet the road. Shirt sleeves meet the road with a dry. Yeah. A new Gemma, welcome. Handsomely is the name. Purvey of enhanced sensory experience. I can tell you that's some tales to tell. You mentioned so enhanced memory experience. What you got? Tramp, Jemkazi. Yeah. You're not from around here, eh? Hey, what do you ask? Mr. done that since, see? Remember there about near. Ah, I'm not right. Recent transplant or just passing through? Recent transplant. I split my time between you and the Brentford. No, mostly in the latter these days. I traveled here all the way from Taiwan. That was my hometown. I was forced to flee during the Nationalist War. You have a slight accent here, so let me just Seattle. Your guess, Raymond Barons. Nasty place. Toughen me up, now I should be ashamed of. Now what do you mean? My own experience have left me very flating. Well, we can discuss this another time. I've thought about this. I'm a businessman after all. I'm sewing a message for you. I think Stefan. Yeah, he's dealer. I'm an inventor of such acclimated experimental pharmaceuticals. Why split hairs? Jenny Pig is suffering. Claims the drug you sold him is giving him horrible visions. Instant, what does he want from me? What do you think, man? Haven't you been shaken down before? He wants the knee and back. He turns absurd from his eater slouch and jets his chin out. There was absolutely nothing wrong with my latest creation. It was painstakingly designed to elevate the senses and titillate the spirit. A smooth heart that has indulged in myself. Now, if sort of Stefan happened to dilute my masterpiece with other lesser substances, I can hardly be held responsible. In flower language, money. There is no money, not anymore. I have expenses just as I sure you do. But here, I give you this. He wants money, not more drugs. But even if I had the end to return, what do you think he's gonna do with it? He'll be back here in 15 minutes, heading it back to me just for another hit. But I'm offering you won't cure stuff. It won't stop him from having bad dreams, but it will bring him a modicum of relief. And if I'm not mistaken, that's what our mothering friend is itching for about, right? Roof is the exact word he used. I told you that it was definitely enough to guess what he'll be desperate enough for another hit. So is his addiction the entire problem? Is that he's suffering so much? Nah, I'm just not surprised to hear from him now. Because it was time. Because it was time. But I can't explain these unusual dreams he's having. Anyway, they just give it him. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go back to Stefan. We're gonna bring him back to his bomb-making dreams. Don't worry about it. There's a reason why it's called dynamite. His sunken eyes widen towards you. He wets his parched lips and dress. Hello, I'm relieved to see you. Though you might now return. Can't trust anyone. It's a bad place. Hey Stevie, I hate to say it, but you're not looking so hot. But tears begin to chase down his dirty, ruined face. I don't want to sleep because of these nightmares. I'm ravenous, so ravenous, but food makes me ill. I've got the shades real bad too, I just want to stand. And just substance place for in his... Well, he responds with difficult... Anyway, thanks for that blasphemy. So you got my money? Lee didn't have your money. He wanted to give me. He wanted me to pass you this instead. Oh, that's line number so. The package. Oh ho. Want you to have it? It's showing you, man. It's pure church standards that I put church message. I just sit down under this dependency. Might as well take Lee's free hit back it, please. That's good, but you need to want the truth for yourself. Promise, it's the turn bad. Fuck. Sorry, Steve. I'm saying keep the drugs. Well, why would you? That's easy for me. It's trick to keep. It's not trick. I understand what it leads off me. I'm not stupid. To fool me, thinking you are stupid. Just grabs your arm, ready to snatch the bat from your grip. Fuck, you know, it needs strength 5. It's your funeral. You need to snatch the bat. Before I take him, I want to ask you about your dreams. You want to ask my dreams? Why? I've been having bad dreams too, man. We can get the bomb, get it. These aren't ordinary dreams. They're the vision. They're so real. Put all kinds of substance in my body, but I've never experienced anything like this. What's my drugs, Lee? Because I need them. I used to get my kids some explosive, love blowing up stuff. Seeing glass splinters, solid bones, disintegrating flames like in the sky. Not anymore. Not I stick the needles and pills. You were a Shadowrunner? No. I was bomb making, design, custom ordnance. It was a dream shop. I was looked at it. Many trips couldn't get enough of my devices, and then I was too high on my own ego to wonder what they were up to. What were the med clubs doing then? They were fueling wars. They have to manage to sell to both sides and conflict over the world. Casuals to be them.
But selling to them, there's blood on your hands too, eh? It's not even simple. It's not as if diamond bombs were used was against militias, mercenaries, and armies. I didn't want to think of them as people. But the weapons, were used against civilian targets. You know, such as digging his rough fingernails in his palms or the tiny crescents of bloodstains in his palms. I'm from JermaSUS, Sintian was taking on much of the province, but pockets of resistance to him. There's a big political struggle, actions that moved lives of ordinary people. The village where I grew up was another tobacco farmers, vine makers, peasants. Not military. Tears leaked from the man's eyes, tracing narrow lines down his filthy cheeks. I recognized the bandit trace they left behind. These were my bombs, used to Shadowrun through my childhood. I was sitting bottom of the Bowman village. The spirit of it broke mine. Drugs helps. Did you lose anyone you knew? I knew them all, from the real soldiers to the little children. My whole family died too. One was strongest part of me I can invent towards the Fiddle and other cultural backwaters, but they were my only kin. I was thinking that bitch tell me about dreams. I'm wanting for a series of dark narrow halls instead of high heaven. I run into more people as I move forward. More people jostling, but I'm starving. Like I haven't eaten for days. I just want some food, so I press on, start seeing children, terrible burns, it's just the faces. All people grabbing at me. I see teeth all around me. Feel the teeth on, I can't think to see what's going on here. Yes, then I must feel guilty about bombs, eh? The blood on my hands, I can feel all the time of that. Just bomb, I don't want anyone to get hurt. How am I going to make it go away? How will I live? Try to help me forget. I start by helping some kids or grabbing your still gently swabs stopping. I wouldn't know where to begin. Any time to children of the future, man. Find charitable donation, put some hours for status. The man lowers himself in the squat, hugs his knees, his gaze somewhat absent, and his cheeks glazed with tears. There's a couple of shelters where I used to crash when I was down and out now. Lots of families a tax helper. And I probably need to go home to when I can't bring myself to. I think about then I need to do something. Yeah, I will promise. This fills us up with something you haven't seen there before. Determination. And there we go. That's Stefan Dynamite. Now we go. Claim payment. Oh yeah, we should talk to those guys. But nah. There's 17 people we need to talk to. Open jobs directory, claim payment. I've got a prompt, wait. Here I am. What away? Well, gents, we've been going live for what, 3 hours now? I feel like this is a good the place to call it quits. Next time we're gonna be talking to some people. We're gonna be talking to the crew, our whole crew. Fuck, I can't save the game. What's up with that bunk first? You wait with a start, your limbs bound up in a sweaty tendril of linen bed sheets, an incredible sorrow swells in your chest. You feel empty, half-starved and alone. Fragmentary memories of half-remembered dreams split through your mind. They're already fading away, chasing the memories. You close your eyes, the transfer phone, you sit. You keep the dreams from slipping away. Gradually, the memory comes back to you. The walled city, you were in the walled city. You don't remember how you got there, but it couldn't have been any place else. Even the barns weren't so squalid. You remember craning your neck to look above you. The buildings that made up the part of the walled city were new construction, even cheaper than the old. Now the function has been ratted out from under them. The buildings lean into one another like a jam of drunken men. The rain of plaster and asbestos sprinkling down, twisting your shoulders. You begin to creep forward, pitching your way past the piles of refuse and debris, past the pimps and dumpster fires, broken glass and dirty needles. The air reeks of rank sewage and industrial waste. It's just more in the cut in your sinuses and crawled down your throat. You gathered in the sting, but it didn't slow you down. In the back of your mind, you knew that you had no reason to be doing this. There's nothing for you in the vault city. You should have been there. But the rest of you was angry, unbearable, indescribably angry. And that part of you knew that if you keep moving, you'd finally get to it. As you approached, you way deeper into the vault city, the crews stood at their windows and stared, and inexplicably something of them dropping to their knees. You kept moving. You could see something in the distance, a silhouette, something enormous, at least twice the size of a troll, but delicate, something beautiful. A huge figure beckoned you, gesturing slender limbs, and an explosion of warmth flew into your chest as you. And it was only you. Then you knew that if only you could reach it, your problems would be over. She could make all your sorrows disappear. You moved forward at a crawl, but the figure felt impossible. Finally reached that corner, and then you woke up. You feeling your snout slowly fades away. Taking strength and vibration, memories along the way. And let's see. Then save the game. Alright. Back in. Yeah, we're gonna rest it on that. Anyways, I want to thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope I can see you next time. And much like always, until next time, have a good one. Bye.